Ah, it's time to potentially finish the trial. And I'm very certain I know what piece of evidence we're going to do next, because I remember this dude was saying, I wasn't there, but we know he was there.
Well, I started to fall asleep, so I can sleep.
Yeah, well, not interested. But if you want a class in swordsmanship, I'm your man. Of course, only real blades will do. No swords at school. All weapons will be confiscated. Gah! Nurse, where's a school nurse when you need one?
Is it a cracking forehead now?
I think so. It would seem Sykes Dono seeks a showdown, Professor. In which case you would do well to draw your staff, quick as lightning. Yep, very well. Then I'll just have to prove my innocence myself. The real lessons begin in second period. Prepare to be served, old school style. What is that? Oh, never mind. Your testimony, please. Main point, Juniper is the killer. I am innocent. Now pay attention. Robin took over half a day to complete one statue. I, however, finished most of the other statue between 7 and 8:30 p.m. The defendant, Juniper, saw the two statues with her own eyes at 8:30. Completing a statue so quickly meant I could not leave the stage for a single second. How could I possibly have the time to go to the art room and commit murder? Oh, okay, so he is saying he was there, just doing stuff on the stage, which we have pictures of. You're saying the defendant saw the finished statues. Precisely, she said so herself at the detention center yesterday. Her defense team was there and heard her say so too. Don't try to deny it now. That evening I went back to my dressing room to get something I'd forgotten. It was well after the last bell rang, I'd say maybe around 8:30. That's when I noticed that both stage statues were finished. They were quite large and they were each covered with a white sheet, but I could tell.
You don't actually know that it was finished.
Yeah. All right, the professor was there when that matter came up. Before I address the professor's charges, I have a question for Robin. How hard would it be to complete a statue like that in 1.5 hours? It would probably take me at least twice as long. So personally, I think it would be incredibly difficult to finish in that short a time. Yeah, that didn't exactly help our case. But he won't get off that easy. He's bound to stumble over his own slippery means. He's going to have a very interesting meltdown.
Can't wait.
It's like what I live for with these cases. Now pay attention. Robin took over half a day to complete one statue. Miss Newman took over half a day. Can you please be a little more precise? Ah ha ha ha! What a wonderful question. She was having quite a tough time, you see. Prosecutor Gavin's statue alone took her from the morning hours into the evening. Well, it is a rather large statue after all. Don't be silly, it merely exposes the difference between student and teacher. I, however, finished most of the other statue between 7 and 8:30. Most of the other statue, what exactly does that mean? Robin created the basic outline of Mr. Wright's statue before the last bell rang. I, in turn, completed the rest of it. I see, in academics as well as art, learning the basics is incredibly important. In short, you skipped the most important part of statue making, didn't you? Yeah. Yeah, you missed it yesterday when you were, not even yesterday. When you were dozing, he was throwing chalk. Why, you insolent little... It is the practical applications built upon the basics that take so much time. Professors such as I mastered the basics a long, long time ago. Unlike Miss Fancy Pants here, who lacks all lawyerly fundamentals. Oh, quiet you. Now, do you understand? I did not leave that stage until I was done. Well, Miss Sykes, do you accept the witness's claim?
Not your life, Buster.
Yeah, that's right. No, I don't. I know there's more to it, and I won't stop until the truth comes out. The more you struggle, the more you sink, like so much legal quicksand, so to speak. I used the world's ultimate technique to complete the statue by 8:30 p.m.
What is the ultimate technique?
Okay. Defendant Juniper saw the two statues with her own eyes at 8:30.
That's not true, because they said they were covered.
Yeah.
She saw a silhouette.
Yeah, so maybe our client only thought she saw the statues. A pity for you, but we have already confirmed it was the accused. She is on record as having seen both statues. Yeah, that's true. Just thought I'd give it a shot. Gaha, ha ha ha, I have the ultimate in courtroom techniques. It is absolutely airtight. I will bury you. This will be your final resting place, along with all who believed in you. Tisk, there's no way to get to this guy. You better pay attention, pay very close attention. Completing a statue so quickly meant I could not leave the stage for a single second. Why were you in such a hurry? In the legal world, your body is your capital. The early bird gets the worm. That's why I get to bed at 9 p.m. each and every night. And that's why I was working as fast as I could. I didn't want to miss my bedtime. Grr. Well, ready to concede that I never left the stage? Well, Miss Sykes, do you accept the witness's claim? Not on your life. No, I don't. I know there's more to this. I'd be careful, Athena, if you don't have anything. It's probably best to just grin and bear it for now until you find something to nail him with. But, when will you cease this nonsense? I am quite busy today, as I was the night of the crime. How could I have possibly had the time to go to the art room and commit murder? Definitely have to press this.
See if the statue is moved ahead of time. It's also at the room.
That is. Let's take a look at, So that statue's done. There he is doing the other statue. So he is doing...
6.
Yeah.
When did he say he did it? Between 7 and 8:30?
Yeah. But look at the right statue. See, that's the one Robin's working.
But the one Robin was doing took her like the whole day.
I thought that was the Gavin statue. I could be wrong, though. Let's hold on.
Hold it!
Yeah. Prosecutor Gavin's statue took her from the morning hours into the evening.
Or when did he finish?
So what he's saying is he finished the statue that Robin was making between 7 and 8:30, which still might not be true, but yeah.
Which one did he say?
The right statue. Gavin, the one that was completed, was the one that took Robin the whole day. What he's saying is, to get the other one done, he did it. Which, again, is probably baloney, but we'll try to figure out a way to get him. Yeah, but you could have taken a short break or something. Preposterous. I didn't even have 10 minutes to spare, not even 5 for a visit to the lavatory. Let me ask you, Your Honor, do you find anything wrong with my claim? Well, it doesn't matter if he does. So far, it appears that your statue making was quite a difficult chore, and I see nothing that could overturn your claim that you never left the stage. But the art room is only a few steps away. What's the plan? All I can think of is pressing him like crazy. That's all I can think of, too. We'll just have to seek out a hole to exploit.
Alright, that's the thing.
Let's see. What does the mock trial script say? Use it, the archery room, it's a good view of the quad. Make it look like an archery club member had shot the victim.
Let's make sure that it's 68. So this was actually taken at 6:05.
Yeah, because that's an hour ahead. And it was around the time where they have that crane up.
Okay. On stage. Was found broken on stage. Have been made So wait, it was found broken on the stage the day of?
The day before the mock trial. So she was murdered the day before the mock trial.
found broken on stage. It was found broken at the murder or before? I guess before, because then she had revenge.
Yeah, so it had to have been before the murder. Fragments. Scolding him. How could you not have the statue done? Let's press him again, but then say that we accept his claim.
Hold it!
So we can't prove anything. I guess I concede. I couldn't hear you. Say it louder this time. I can see the Professor Means never left the stage. I was there at the stage the entire time. I couldn't possibly have committed that crime. I'm not going to give up here. I'm afraid I have to side with the witness, Miss Sykes. Unless you have any further objections, I'll have to put this issue to rest. Not yet. The defense still has an objection. Athena, you've thought of something. Well, as I said, not yet. Oh, so it's time for legal smoke and mirrors. Not yet, Athena. It's not yet time to quit. It's at times like these, when it seems like there's no way out, that you have to, turn the case upside down. Instead of focusing on whether Professor Means could have gone to the art room, I should focus on how he could commit the murder without going there. Seems our young lady has a real bona fide idea. But I'll use any means necessary, even casting stones, if it'll distract her. Ah, who brought the bird to school? Sykes, Dona, if I hear one word of your usual jibber-jabber, I shall have your head. The murder occurred in the art room, yet the witness was on the stage. How do you propose to fill the vast gap between these two key facts? I accept the premise that the professor was on the stage the entire time. The only other answer is that we got something else wrong. Wait, that's it! Every last one of us made a huge mistake. We were totally wrong about the suspect, murder weapon, crime scene.
She was murdered.
You know? Curious. Because it's not the suspect. We know that. The Professor Means was on the stage the entire time. Then he must be the killer. Ridiculous. The defense has become utterly incoherent. No, it's just the murder wasn't committed where we thought it was. Continue, Sykes Dono.
I kind of like him, even though he's like psycho.
Yeah. The murder was actually committed here. Well, if he didn't leave the stage, then we're saying it was the stage. The greatest riddle of this case has been how the body was moved from the art room. Now, we don't really know how it was done on the stage.
Just put it on the pocket of that banner, remember, and brought down.
Right.
The original. And it knocked over the statue on its way down.
Oh my god, what if the other statue was just her in a sheet?
Creepy as shit. I mean,
But if the murder occurred on the stage, that meant the body was never moved at all. Oh no. Silly girl, when the body was found, there wasn't a drop of blood on the stage floor. Surely there would have been some blood if that's where the murder was committed. There wasn't any blood on the stage, really. But there was something on stage at the time of the murder that's now bloodstained.
is it the banner?
Yeah, that's right.
Take that!
It's true, there were no bloodstains on the stage floor. There was something on the stage that did have a bloodstain. That would be this school banner. No blood would have gotten on the floor if this were under the victim when she was killed. Oh my, that's quite a compelling theory.
Silence!
What is it now? My theory makes perfect sense. That was a pathetic attempt. You must put every inch of your body into your attacks.
What?
The autopsy states the cause of death was loss of blood. Yet only a trace amount was found upon the banner. Where did the rest go? Blood getting on there. The Governor's banner. That's why it was burnt. Blood getting on there when the body was moved by wire makes more sense than not. Gahahaha. Very good, Simon. Tell me, what's your first choice for higher education? I'll write you the ultimate in recommendation letters. You're all but guaranteed to get in. Actually, the defense has something to explain that as well. You do? If there was a trace amount of blood on the school banner, then there must have been something else the killer used to soak up the blood. All I have to do is figure out what. This is what's so... Yep. And let me just make sure it's... Yeah, it's the blood. Okay.
Take that!
Why, it looks like there's some other piece of fabric on the top of the school banner. It's the Governor's banner that had been specially made for the school concert. Since it's on top of the school banner, the blood would have hit it first. It would have easily absorbed most of the blood like a dishcloth, and only a small amount would have soaked through to the banner below. So it makes total sense for the school banner to have a little blood on it. Ah.
Ooh, he's sweating.
Yeah. I mean, he was sweating, I think, with the bird, but now he's sweating at us. That banner absorbed the blood like a dishcloth? Yeah, that would explain it. The Governor's banner was like a dishcloth. Surely it was at least tower quality. The chalkboard. Simon, don't just stand there. Do something. Sykes Dono, you are learning to wield a blade quite well. But how will you respond when I come slashing at you like this? The remnant of a large bloodstain was detected in the art room. But why would there be blood there if the murder occurred on the stage as you claim? The bloodstain in the art room was faked. I'll tell you how. All that was needed was something that could transport the blood upstairs. And that something was a piece of evidence we've just finished discussing. The killer used this to bring the victim's blood up to the art room. Was it the... To bring the victim's blood up to the art room. It wasn't the crane, was it?
It's not the police issue, is it? Unless you're saying that, like, the burnt remnants is what he used to put up there when he burned it, but it seems it's not that.
Yeah.
Where did we find that all?
I don't know. Think by the body? I guess maybe he could have gone up with... Well, no, it couldn't have gone up with that, because here, it's up, but the thing's still down there. The Governor's thing.
The police
No.
I think it's gonna be the burnt remnants.
Yeah, let's try. I mean, we just finished discussing, so... To think you'd stoop so low as to present mere garbage to this court. It's only garbage because someone tried to destroy it by tossing it in the incinerator. That someone was most likely the killer seeking to get rid of crucial evidence. The killer used the wire to bring the blood-soaked Governor's banner to the art room. Then the blood was wiped onto the floor to complete the ruse. It makes perfect sense. Gagwa! Order, this is quite a development. To think the body was never actually moved. Hold it right there, the body must have been moved. How else do you explain that loud crash you heard during the mock trial? If it wasn't caused by the body crashing into the statues, then what was it? Ugh, I hadn't thought of that. If that loud crash wasn't the body hitting the statues, what was it indeed? The on in the school banner shows that something was carried along the wire in it. So if that's true, I know what I have to find. Something that was in the art room before the murder, and then on the stage after. That was the Lady Justice statue, right?
Was she found broken before or afterwards?
No. I mean, it was found broken on stage.
Okay.
Take
Ah, that statue. Yes, I believe it was the statue that broke the other two, not Professor Quart's body. The unique statue you see on the right, that's the pure white Lady Justice from earlier. Professor Quart accidentally broke it while she was polishing it the day before the mock trial. But she used her own unique artistic sense and technique to repair it, as you see here. Nobody would have guessed that it was originally Lady Justice.
Silence.
Perhaps you are onto something, but why, pray tell, would anyone move that scrap heap relic in such a tedious manner? Excellent question, Simon. Keep them coming.
Because she's the other statue.
Well, you know why, because the fact that you won't acknowledge it shows how twisted you are. Lady Justice was moved during the mock trial. During that time, Professor Means was fabricating an alibi with his pre-recorded speech. If we consider the facts, then Lady Justice was moved in order to hide body.
Her body. Because she's under the sheet. And she's strung up because her hands are tied.
Professor Means was trying to hide the body. That's the only explanation. I have a bad feeling about this one. Really, but by moving Lady Justice, he actually led you straight to it. There's always two sides to the story, and the truth is not always what it seems. Well, Miss Sykes, this much at least is true. You've just earned yourself a penalty. Eek.
I thought
Why was Lady Justice moved? Try to remember everything that happened. Lady Justice was moved during the mock trial. During that time, Professor Means was fabricating an alibi with his pre-recorded speech. We consider the facts.
points to the body.
Point to the body
The sound.
because of the sound, and yeah. Professor Means used his pre-recorded speech to fake an alibi during the mock trial. He wanted to make it look like he couldn't possibly have moved the body. Moving Lady Justice was his way of pointing us to the body and cementing his alibi. God. That's quite a persuasive argument. For a while there, I thought you weren't taking the trial seriously. Well done. Oh dear. Hehehehe. You should never underestimate me, Athena Sykes. Professor Means always means what he says and says what he means by all means. Fine then. Say it already, I'm waiting. Oh dear. The murder occurred the night before, but the body wasn't found until the next day. Countless students passed the stage till they met in the lecture hall for the mock trial. So answer me this, why didn't anyone see the body that entire time? That could be explained by, If the victim was murdered on the stage and left there, the body would inevitably have been discovered. And of course, there was nowhere to hide a body upon that stage. This is not good, Athena. Our claim is this close to being beaten to a pulp. I know. We've come so far. Gahahaha. Consider yourself schooled. I couldn't have possibly killed anyone. The killer is none other than Juniper Woods. It always has been, and it always will be. Just wait a minute. Poor Juniper, she must seriously regret having asked you to defend her. Ugh. And to add insult to injury, you nearly had Hugh convicted for murder. Surely you haven't forgotten that little fiasco? Not only did you fail to defend your client, you also raised false charges against your friend. You have no right to call yourself a lawyer. If this trial proceeds in the same manner and ends in the same way as the mock trial, would you not lose everything you've worked so hard to gain? Well, I'll just have to make sure that doesn't happen then, won't I? Don't tell me I failed once again. Failed to save someone near and dear to me. I've worked so hard to become a lawyer and even studied psychology. Has it all been for naught? Am I just doomed to relive that all over again? We haven't figured out what that was, have
No,
we?
and Simon is involved somehow.
Athena, what's wrong? Oh, dang. Dang. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, relax, Athena, breathe. It's not working. Everything's going dark. After all I've done, is this how it ends?
You want to change the ending?
Forgive me, Junie, I couldn't protect you like I said I would. You leave Athena alone, man! She's the one who saved me! It was because of Athena that I could stop hiding and start living my life as a girl again. And she saved the friendship between Hugh, Juniper, and I. I think you're an awesome lawyer, Athena, one of the best. But I raised false charges against you. And that's not all. I've done some seriously unforgivable things.
Mm-hmm.
What's the big deal? False charges are nothing to be scared of. And I'm not even mad at you. I should really be thanking you. You used legitimate means to expose my wrongdoings and give me a chance to re-examine what's important. But what does it matter if I can't save Juniper? I mean, the whole reason I've come so far is... It's not over yet, Thena. Even now, at this very moment, I still believe in you. Junie? I know you better than most people, Thena. I know you'd never surrender to the dark age of the law like the professor did. Thank you, Junie, but I feel like I can barely breathe. I don't know what to do.
Silence!
Stop your bleeding this instant. You look like another fool. Prosecutor Blackwell. There is one who awaits you, is there not? That is the reason you have studied so very hard. Are you prepared to give up on all you have worked for thus far? It would not do to have you disappoint you-know-who. Yeah, ha ha ha, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. You have nothing on me, no evidence or anything else to establish my guilt. You are helpless before the might of lawyers for whom the ends justify the means.
Objection!
Don't worry, Athena, you're doing fine. The truth will always win against people like him. But Apollo, what am I supposed to do now? Listen, all you have to do is take a deep breath and look back over the entire case. If there's truth to be found, and there always is, you're sure to find it. Now let me see you smile. Remember what Mr. Wright said. The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. Thanks, everyone. The worst of times are when we have to smile. I think that's what it said. Athena Sykes is psyched and ready to rock. Prepare for your utter defeat. Oh dang, we're already at the end. Professor Court wasn't killed in the art room. She was killed right where her body was found. We know because there wasn't any time to move the body there from somewhere else. That means the body had to have been hidden somewhere on stage until it was found. Let's think along these lines and see where it takes us. First up, when did Professor Means remove the body from its hiding place? Well, let's see. What was he doing right before the body was discovered? He was using the span of time his fake alibi created to move the body to where it would be more easily spotted. Therefore, the only time Professor Means could have removed the body from its hiding place is... Let's see. So he had to have done it. What was he doing right before the body was discovered? He was using the span of time his fake alibi created to move the body to where it would be more easily spotted. So it's either... So is him talking considered before the mock trial?
It was during the mock trial because it's recorded, right?
I guess that's technically during the mock trial, right? It was during the mock trial specifically. During the speech. Professor Means moved the body to an easily seen location during his long, pre-recorded speech. The professor also moved something to the stage that wasn't there before, specifically... the white statue, because the gold statue was in there. During the mock trial, Professor Means wrapped the White Lady Justice in the school banner and sent it zipping down to the stage with a crash, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. He drew attention to the body and made it look like the murder occurred in the art room. But was there anywhere to hide a body on that stage? It doesn't seem likely. No, there had to be someplace. Wait a second. How about something that should have been finished but was only mostly done? Something was used to cover the body up. But it didn't draw undue attention because it looked like it belonged there on stage. In that way, no one would suspect there was a body hidden inside. What was already on the stage capable? The right statue. The body was hidden by Wright's statue. Oh, I know, the Mr. Wright statue was never actually finished. The body was wrapped under some cloth to hide what was really inside, cleverly disguising it as the boss's statue. Miss Newman gave up on the right statue, yet Professor Means finished it in a single night. Yes, what an impressive feat that was. No, his so-called work of art deserves none of our praise. That's because it was only a facade to hide his real work, the murder of Professor Court. Come again? I'm afraid I don't follow. He hid the body by making it look like the statue of Mr. Wright. With the body wrapped under a piece of cloth, it looked just like a statue. What? Hey, that's what I said. Now this is getting interesting. What did he say? I second the what? No, this is getting preposterous. Nobody may speak but me? How could such a thing even be possible? We'll never know until we try. Uh-oh, I think I know where this is going. Okay, Apollo, time to turn me into a reasonable likeness of Mr. Wright. I'm going to pose like the statue, like so. And now I want you to wrap me in a cloth so that I look like a statue. I hate to ask the obvious, but where am I supposed to get this magical cloth? I'm afraid that isn't the right color, Mr. Justice. Well, given how sudden the request was, it's kind of the best I could do, Your Honor.
His cloak.
Alright, I think that about does it. So what do you think, everyone? Do I look just like a statue of Mr. Wright, or what? Looks like some random person to me. Why are the statues a pair of busts? Phoenix Wright had that spiky hair on the back of his head. I bet the hair of the statue's head is way bigger than your average person's anyway. You gotta hand it to me for trying anyway. Wait, that's it, the hands! Her hands are raised over her head, and there are dark bruises around her wrists. Yeah, the professor was probably tied up with something. The marks on her wrists indicated she was being tied up. Hollow, tie me up in a new pose. Wait, you're not into this kind of thing, are you? What? No, besides it was your idea. Just tell me how to tie your hands already. Professor Quartz's wrists were tied together, and I can't help but think that's related. How should I arrange myself to match the shape I want, given her hands were tied? Let's see. Professor Quartz's wrists were tied together.
Above her head.
They were above her head. Should I arrange myself to match the shape I want, given her hands were tied? An objection pose. It wouldn't be the objection pose. I guess it's just behind my head. Hollow, tie both of my hands behind my head.
She's tied to like a pole.
See? This makes it possible to fake the spikes on the back of Mr. Wright's head. Sure, but what about the statue's arm? With both arms behind your head, you can't exactly complete the pose. Yeah, it would be awfully hard to make the objection pose like that. Can't help thinking you've forgotten something, Athena. Something on the body that you don't have right now.
The arrow.
What did the victim have that I don't?
Take that!
Oh right, there was an arrow sticking out of her side. Okay, Apollo, take that and plunge it into my side. What, are you crazy? Fine, then go get some duct tape. Rapido! Schnell! Alright, I don't need to know other languages to know bossy when I hear it. Fatal arrow to the side. Spiky hair created from two hands. A masterpiece in the making. Now cover me with that cloth. But remember to make that arrow stand out, okay? The arm's too short. Shiver your indoor voice, dear. Why is a little kid just... Nobody's buying it. The arrow's nowhere near long enough. But what else could you use for the arm? Still don't give up, eh? I must commend you, if only for your spirit and determination. Of course she's not giving up. After all she's put me through, she owes me an explanation, one that makes sense. Now, disappoint me again, the penalty will be doubly painful. Yikes, I guess I'd better get it right this time. Think, Athena, think. Professor Quart was murdered when she stopped by the stage to see Professor Means. If it wasn't premeditated, he must have used something close at hand in his little ruse. Apollo, show me those stage setup photos again. Like that, right now? Okay, hold on. Please, 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 please be in this photo. It just has to be. Is it the thing that holds the globe up? Find what he actually used for the arm of Phoenix Wright's statue. Only thing I could think of would be this.
That? Or there was back here.
What's back there?
See the thing that's near his face? You said that it's near his face.
This?
Or over to the one that's near his face. Continue.
This one?
Yeah.
This,
On the side.
that's part of the statue, though. I think. I'm gonna go with this.
Take that!
Got it. I know what he used for the arm in the statue of Mr. Wright. This is absurd. There's no such thing in this photo. Hey, don't play dumb with me, Professor. It's the staff you have right there. Staff? This is the spear of a great legal warrior. Whatever, just hurry up and lend it to me. The length is perfect. Mr. Wright couldn't possibly object to such an awesome arm. Okay, go for it, Apollo. Sure, I'll give your arm a hand. Cloth and binding coming right up.
Objection!
It's Phoenix Wright. Look, it's that famous lawyer. That's definitely him. I'd know that pose anywhere. We did it, didn't we? Ha 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 ha! Well, am I not the spitting image of the legendary Phoenix Wright? The man who will bring us out of these dark ages and into an era of brilliant and golden light. Golden light, all I see before me is the pink specter of a man. Ha 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 ha! Ha 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 ha! Not just because Mr. Wright likes his statue, he's positively tickled pink. Get it, Apollo? He's tickled pink! Blah, that joke deserves a pink slip. It seems the gallery is quite impressed with the defense's sharp thinking. And witness? Bah, the resemblance is nothing more than a coincidence. Not so fast there, Buster. Fortunately for you, I can prove my theory to be more than mere coincidence. To prove that a spear was thrust into the victim, all I have to do is...
That's the spear. But wait, what have to do to use his spear?
Well, Prince, no, he's always carrying it.
Is it the staff or spear? That's the spear for blood. So was it stuck into her too? And then he just stuck the arrow in there?
To make it seem like it was an archery student, like the script says. Okay, let's try it. We had assumed the victim's jagged wound came from the arrow being forcibly shoved in. But if the wound was from the spear instead, then we should be able to detect traces of the victim's blood on it. Your Honor, a brief recess, if you will. By any means possible. What if I get rid of my spear? Wait, what if I burned it? What's wrong with a non-guilty verdict? If I do that, I'll be found innocent. Yes, I'm innocent, I tell you.
You're still talking nonsense.
Yeah, I think he's running out of excuses. Surely you don't expect us to take lectures from you now. Now, I ask you in the gallery. Help me decide the professor's fate. What the heck is going on?
This is not. Uh-oh. Alright.
G for guilty.
Is there anything even left? This is like a statue, so...
Yeah, like the statue, bro. Prosecutor Blackwell, what has become of our witness Aristotle Means? It is as Sykes-Dono suspected. Blood was detected on his staff. He has admitted to this heinous crime, all of it. He shall join us in the clink tomorrow. His teaching skills can be put to good use there. Great, he'll teach felons that the end justifies the means. So much for rehabilitation. Can I ask what the professor's motive was? I could barely make out a word he said on account of his shattered teeth. One of Blackwell's fellow inmates was once a surgeon. One a former dentist, too. I eventually had him put pen to paper. It turns out Professor Means was the one taking bribes. Yep, that's what we suspected. The victim had suspected him after a report from the class snitch. That led her to question him at length the day of the killing, right there on that stage. The result, the heinous crime that was brought before this court. The fool, like Newman, had come to know of the script's contents via the victim's note. It seems he came up with a plan to stab the victim with her own awl in order to make the killing look like the one in the script and thus frame the defendant. That scrap of paper with Hugh's name had the same mark as Professor Court's planner. Yes, about that. Those planners are bestowed upon all students graduating at the top of their class. Really? So then... Indeed, once upon a time, Professor Means was also awarded the same notebook. The handwriting is being analyzed now, but like as not, the scrap belonged to him. This, too, was evidence of the bribery scheme that the victim had obtained. I know that Constance's cord was clean, and that only Aristotle Means took the bribes. No, to think a professor would murder a colleague, then try to pin it on a student. If this is the dark age of the law, then we can only hope that a brighter future awaits. And the first step is to hand down my verdict for a promising young lady. This court finds the defendant, Juniper Woods.
That is a pretty twisted thing to do.
Yeah. I've never seen that kind of meltdown. that was a bit different. And they brought it back to the teeth, too.
Does Black still hate us now because he's lost quite a few cases against us?
He should. Well, that's the thing. All these prosecutors, they lose a bunch of cases, and even after they lose, they're like, you have no right to be teaching, to be in the courtroom. You're the one who keeps losing to me. I wish you all the best on your road to becoming a courtroom judge. We will need young people like you if we ever hope to restore the law to its former glory. Yes, Your Honor, I'll work as hard as I can. Maybe one day I'll be able to work with all of you to make a difference. Proudly serve Professor Court's memory. Do not let her death be in vain. That's the last thing I expected to hear from him today. Yeah, that was a very nice thing.
Maybe he was her student.
You know, you're onto something there.
But then why did he end up being a murderer? I want to know his murdering. Like, why is he obsessed with...
Well, do we know he's a murderer? Do we know why he's in prison?
I think he's a murderer.
Let's see the, yeah. A prosecutor and prison inmate. He has mastered the use of psychological manipulation in courtroom battles. Thank you, Thena. I really mean it. It was nothing, really. I can take the biggest tangled mess of the case and unravel it just like that. I don't know. You look pretty wound up there at the end, literally and figuratively. You look pretty hungry for a knuckle sandwich, Buster. I wanted to thank you too, Apollo. Don't mention it. The way you were always there for Thena when she was in a bind, and at the detention center where your smile gave me hope when there was none. It was like the warm rays of the sun shining down on peaceful woodlands. This is where she starts falling in love. I think you're an absolutely amazing person. Thanks, Juniper. That means a lot to me. But I still have lots of work to do, and I can't wait until we see you on the judge's bench. I promise you I'll get there someday. That's why, until that day, I'll... Guys, I've got some big news. I mean, this is huge. Oh, am I interrupting something? No, it's okay. I think. So what's the big news? The school festival. It was supposed to have been canceled after what happened, but... we just got a call. In memory of Professor Constance Court, who worked so hard to make it happen. The festival is being extended one extra day until tomorrow. Really? Alright.
We get cotton candy at the festival.
Ah. Look, it's
We've got a
Lemire.
special treat for all of you. A love letter for Themis Legal Academy. Achtung, baby. It's time for the Guitar Serenade.
Isn't that the same song that we...
I think so. Yeah, from the third case in the fourth game. Wow, that was so much fun. School festivals are amazing. Tee-hee-hee, I think you and Robin are getting a little carried away. Ah, your singing voice, Juniper. It could melt my H-E-A-R-T. Mr. Wright, thank you for the training seminar. Just remember, the objection pose is all about attitude. Oh, and congrats on your mock trial win, although Robin had you for a while there. I did, didn't I? But I'm just glad we're back to how we used to be, thanks to Athena. You know what? I think I'll stick with becoming a prosecutor after all. I'm going to make up for my mock trial loss by winning the real deals in court. Mock trial loss? What loss? Wait, did they reprise the trial in Q1? Level-headed lawyer, course genius, and hot-blooded prosecutor, course student will go head-to-head in a mock trial battle for the She-Devil's Black Knight. So, does this mean it's really gonna happen? Juniper, there's something I've been wanting to say to you. Huh? Ooh, is he gonna do what I think he is? Juniper, can we still be friends? You know, best friends like we've always been. Oh, best friends. Hugh, weren't you going to profess your love for Juniper if you won the mock trial? No, I was going to confess that I'm not a genius, that I'm really 25 years old. But you already dragged it out of me during the trial. Whoops. Listen, Hugh, you too, Robin, Miriam. Me too. Miriam's got this tactical espionage action stuff down to a science. I've been thinking, it's up to us to put an end to the dark age of the law if we can. Let's all work together to usher in a new age where winning only results from the truth. And the end never justifies the means. Count me in. I wouldn't have it any other way. Best friends forever, huh? No matter what anyone says, nothing beats true friendship. You bet. And what about your BFF, Apollo? Aren't you a bit old to be using that word? But yeah, he's the best friend a guy can have. Which reminds me, we're supposed to meet up and gossip about the new girl in the office. Hey, not talking about me behind my back. So what kind of guy is he anyway? Well, if I had to describe him in one word... And so after some... Whoops, what? What's going on? Their friendship was mercilessly severed by fate, and the bonds between us began to fray and unravel as well. Sorry, but I'll be taking a leave of absence. Yeah, okay. Even now, those words... Gosh darn it. The discord in our ever-cheerful Apollo's voice made him sound so cold and distant. Yeah, when he started wearing that cape. Why, Apollo, why? Why would you leave us all behind?
Ever find his dad? I don't know who his dad is because Lemira was married before.
That is true.
Maybe it's Pooh.
Oh, Auntie Pooh, save me! Love old bag.
Alright, we can stop a little bit, get tea, and then start again.
Yeah! Alright, so we'll stop it for this, and then we'll start a new one for the next case.